A very quick thank you to Jarvis for making those settings and things that needed to be done so much faster to do. For those of you that have been around this channel for a while, you know who Jarvis is. But, yeah, thank you, Jarvis. That made quick work of it. Let's see if this solves it and fixes what needed to be fixed. Last live stream is already set to public. I got to get a description into that one, but we're not going to do that just yet. We'll do that after the stream is over. We'll go from there.
Oh, damn it.
What's wrong?
What?
What's wrong?
No. I'm there to talk. I'm trying to shut me up.
Okay. Yep, second try. First one's up, the first one's public. I still got to get a description into it. I wasn't exactly trying to get too much shit done all at once. Thank you, Jarvis, for making this so much quicker to get set up for the second run. But, yeah, second try. Definitely. Oh, I need to do that. Give me 1 second. Pull. Okay. FUPP support or content. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Doom. M 6 9. There we go. Start. Okay, now the poll should be up. There it goes. Do I think we're going to get much of anything out of that? Probably not. We're still too small of a channel to get too much from it, but it'd be nice. It'd be real nice. I don't know. I gotta figure out. Hey, Quick Feet, how's it going? Hello, Poppy4. Okay, so yeah, the chat is definitely fixed. The stream is definitely fixed. Oh, that barometric pressure has shifted again. And I know it did. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel the barometric pressure, the air pressure. Thank you, Gibbs. Yes, I know. I know. He loves us all. But he is also a very angry and vengeful god. So let's try to stay on his good side. Okay, that is really surprising. I did not expect the poll to already be back at 80-20. I thought the first one was a fluke. Because right now I'm down to resin, and I will not burn resin in glass. Resin in glass is just not the way to go. If I had actual flour, I'd be using my glass piece. If I had actual dabs, I'd be using my glass nectar collector. Trust and believe, I love smoking out of glass, but resin gets too resin's too yuck in a glass piece.
Let me know.
Okay, here's the deal. If anyone wants to send me some buds, I know a shop right here, right now, that sells their pre-rolls at five a piece, and or their gram a day for $5. Ultimately, just under $5. It's $4.20 in tax.
423. I'm sorry, 523.
Somewhere around
Actually,
there.
528 to be exact.
Nah, did you ever do it, Alexander? I'm pretty sure you do. You ever smoke these nuts? No, but I'm sure you do, Alexander. Hi, Ruth.
But the reason I'm asking is like at least have some.
Alright. See you tomorrow, Alexander. I guess you got on the wrong foot with one of the mods real quick. I thought I had that covered pretty good. Hi, Javier. Hey, you're finally home. That means you can smoke again. Hold on. I'll be right back.
I'm trying. We got ice all over the floor.
I know he does. He's been walking in snow. It's tracking in from the treads.
No.
Okay. If you want to know my opinion on smoking,
Don't do it.
if you haven't started, don't do it. But if you want to know my opinion on smoking, go back to part 1 of this stream for our most recent stream. That will give you my opinion on smoking. Otherwise, let's change the subject.
Or chew tobacco.
You understand there's more smokers than there are people that chew, right? So chew does damage a whole lot faster.
Yeah? She will turn around and burn through your lip.
Yeah.
Or burn through your gum. PS3, already done dealt with. Welcome to a coughing fit. Welcome to the fact that it's winter. Welcome to the fact that it's cold. Welcome to the fact that people get sick. I'm starting to wonder if I should have just left the stream alone and just let it run the way that it was running. But I'm not going to let people's negativity get the better of me today. That's for certain. But yeah, can't nobody change me or who I am. Yes. Yes. It depends on the smoke, though, M&G. It really does. Let's be fair to that. It depends on the fact of which smoke. But yes, Ruth. If it's not yellow, let them do it. The worst that's going to happen is the kid's going to get a freaking little protozoa or whatever. All that protozoa is going to do is turn around and give the kid's immune system something to combat. A good immune system is like a good, well-oiled machine. As long as your immune system is working and functioning correctly, there is hardly a thing that will make you sick. I usually don't get sick, but I was a Carling kid. I grew up with germs. I wasn't that kid in the bubble. Thank you, Ruth. You know you didn't have to do that. I threw that up there as a fluke. But I appreciate it. I really do. That helps. I know, she lost her phone, that's the thing. We're in the process of trying to find her phone. I just happened to end up being in the time frame that I needed to start the live stream.
What happened?
Watching the TV, not.
It boiled over.
Yeah.
What did you boil? Boil.
Yeah, boil over. It's nothing big. Y'all, give me one moment. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna go turn around and see if I can find the other phone.
I'll probably keep it up off the wall.
It also has
No.
it has no skin on it.
No. I'm so confused. Well, there's another lighter.
Oh my god.
Nope.
What?
It's not on the edge of the bed.
No shit.
Anywhere.
Well, I can't find it.
Can you possibly look out in the trailer last night?
No. Nope. Already checked.
Share. Because to explain this a little bit more easily, there's a Cash App fucking pending at this point.
Okay.
Mom, can you
But-
possibly look in the jacket?
No. I already checked. But I do need.
Alright, understand, for the time being, if any Cash Apps go through, they're gonna stay pending. We've got to find the phone.
No, they won't stay pending. They'll go through.
I know, for the moment, they will stay pending because we've got to find the phone to get them to go through.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Okay, I know what you're getting at.
It's temporarily, they will be left as pending.
Right.
Because it'll take after the stream type shit to find the phone, because I know it's over there somewhere. It has to be.
Yeah. That's what I thought, but it's not under your pillows, not under my pillows, not under any of them.
Though I'm wondering if maybe Tony is right. Maybe you possibly did leave it in Deb's without thinking about it.
I would have got it on me.
Mal, I've had to walk out for your phone before.
Well, I mean, you do have a chance
There is
to
a
look it up.
there is a
You probably do.
there is a possibility that he's right. It might just be in the trailer. Because when I had your phone last, I set it up on top of the tablet, which is right there in between. So,
And I pulled it out and dropped it on the bed.
which means it's either wrapped up underneath one of the blankets, like the main core blanket, like the main blue core blanket, or down the list.
What I do know is
Yeah, I know, but the phone that has the access to the account that would be needed to do that is on Mom's phone.
Mama cannot find her phone.
And because Mama Canna can't find her phone, and her phone is currently dead at the moment,
I can't
it's
pull
going to take some time to search for it. But I don't want to turn around and make the live stream an empty room with me looking for a phone. Yeah, exactly. It's nothing personal, guys. If you do send in any money on Cash App, understand it will stay pending for a little bit.
it. What did you put it in?
I put it in under the Factory Black card. I put it in under the proper one.
The running sign?
Uh-huh.
Capital K,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I-T-T-E-D-O-N,
That's the one.
or capital D-O-N?
Because that's the only one.
6-9?
Yeah. There's one pending. It's just got to find the phone to find it.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when Canna and Mama Canna go sober for too long.
Yeah.
Things get lost.
People thought it was bad me leaving sitting on my bed when I'm not sober.
Hey, when we lose things and we're stoned, at least we know where to look to find them, because there's only a few places we'd set shit while we're stoned. But when we're sober, that list from
Yeah,
a
but
few
I was stoned
places,
that night.
um,
I pulled it out. I was at like 30-some%, and I slid it back on the bed underneath the pillow. Except Lucky.
okay, well the
And
first,
then I turned around and handed it to you at one point.
okay, well the first thought that I have in my head at that point is it's probably underneath the main blanket.
Who knows?
Nope, not down here foot.
Satan, get the foot.
I know, I'm trying to help. I'm just trying
Tony,
to
go
help.
drink a V8.
He
Fuck
would if
me.
he actually liked them.
Go drink a V8, so that way I don't have to denozo you.
He might if he actually liked them.
Ow, that hurt.
The liver's not under your blanket.
At least it wasn't the hand that had the ring on it.
We would have landed on it. We would have laid on it last night.
Okay, that's good, Michelle. I'm glad the chat's working again. That means that what we needed to fix got fixed. And you know what? I am totally fine with the fact that those numbers just flipped around on me. Because reality's sake is, when we can't find the phone, it kind of makes it difficult to turn around and make it work.
I didn't have it yesterday either.
It's why I'm saying it's possible it's out in Deb's trailer.
So we should be willing to.
Sure, if I end it.
I didn't mean right this second. But it may be in there last night if we don't.
Right?
And now that's some time.
No. Not sending him.
Whatever came down to.
No, okay, that's too sober.
As far as anybody is concerned, I'm too damn sick of this stuff and irritated.
Whatever came down to it, I'm gonna let you guys use my account.
No!
No!
Absolutely not.
Please do not make me have to mute my stream again for the 4th time. 6 hours a week.
That's all I asked.
All I ever asked was 6 hours a week.
So you do remember me, and I know you haven't been watching. It's expensive. Not with Tableau. Pay once to watch halfway every.
Alright, M&G. You go have fun, man. Just make sure that you turn around and you don't spend all the money on lobster. It won't fill you up. And actually, due to that notation, we're going to do this. There you are. Standard. Alright, Ruth. Seeing as how you're the main one here that I know that I can trust out of everyone in the chat / moderators down the list, congratulations. You just inherited a blue wrench from M&G. M&G, yours is still active, but you're going out for dinner, so, yeah. Your seafood dinner just promoted Ruth. Never thought that sentence would ever exit my mouth.
What?
M&G going out for a seafood dinner just caused Ruth to get promoted as a manager. Or, not manager, but a general moderator.
Why?
Because Ruth is the only other one in chat that I know of that I can trust as a moderator to do what needs to be done without question at this moment. And because M&G's going to dinner, I need a blue wrench. But yeah, congratulations, Ruth. You got promoted. I figure if I got a promotion today, I can share in the promotions. Because like I said, I remember being a moderator on Teddy's channel. I do not remember being a managing moderator on Teddy's channel. That's where I kind of got a little bit confused earlier today, was when I turned around and got the notice that I was managing moderator and that I needed to restart the stream again. Because I remembered being a normal moderator, not a manager. But hey, promotions for everybody. I guess that's what happens when you have someone psychotic that turns around and runs rampant around your moderators in the channel and tries to destroy everything from the inside out. Which, to whoever let that moderator in, no! Never again. Never again. Never again.
Want to make a bet? It'll happen.
No, because from here on out, my opinion is if a new moderator is going to be enacted, then it needs to be put up to a vote. They need to have the majority, and the one whom brought that moderator in needs to be responsible for their actions for the first 30 days as a moderator. They need to be on a probation period.
That's how that should have been to begin with.
Sorry, been in the having to run shit for long enough that I've got a few opinionated opinions about how things need to be done. But to whoever let the moderator in and gave immediate managing powers to that moderator, no! That is not what you do. You bring them in as a baseline moderator. Then when they prove that they're not going to destroy your shit, then you turn around and upgrade them. Yeah, because trying to take M&G's Blue Wrench powers, kicking out Gang Gang, the one who made the Discord server work the way it does, come on. That is not what you... No. If you don't know the structure of the channel, don't go fucking with shit. Because that's not a way to get on anyone's good side. And from what I've heard and what I've garnered and what I've managed to accumulate, yeah, whoever fucked up the fact of the channel like that, here's hoping, because their account at this point in time, if YouTube has done what they're supposed to do, their account should be totally blackballed. Their IP address should be totally 100% unable to have another account come from it, if YouTube is doing their job.
When do they do that?
A couple of hours earlier than us and a couple of hours earlier to end than us, because they're 2 hours behind us. Like 3, 4 o'clock. It's only like 2 o'clock there. 3 o'clock, they're just coming off of lunch. Not actually our ceiling. That's the problem. And yeah, it's water damage. Sorry guys, stream tried to break. Oh no, because I'm on regular data at this point. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm running straight signal. No, Ryan, I know. Trust and believe. We're not staying here much longer. But yeah, I've already got enough of that running around in the back of my head. I don't need to be dealing with it on live stream. Please.
Dude, they put me in tears down there every night. What they talk about?
Trust and believe, there's a lot of shit going on in the background behind the scenes that I don't let enter into the live stream. But yeah, trust and believe. I'm sorry I called you a prick. It wasn't exactly the smoothest thing to do. But yeah, I don't want to think about it here on live. Okay? Hi, lovely lady. Would I want one? Yeah. Do I need one? Wants aren't exactly needs. It's something about how I was raised. You can have your wants and you can have your needs. The handful of needs is going to fill up faster than the handful of wants.
No, not always.
Okay, fine. The one that matters more is the handful of needs. But yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to be back on Xbox. I'd love to be able to turn around and get my hands on the fact of a copy of the remaster of Most Wanted. Not the new one that they brought out back in, like, the early Reconnect. Thank you. Nothing newer than a 360. I'm not in the position to turn around and stop anyone from enacting their free will. But nothing newer than a 360. That I will put my foot down on. Oh no, it's called, there's an offer on the table right now because of accumulated consoles down the list. I'm fine with that. I'm fair with that. I can't stop anyone from their own free will. But nothing newer than a 360. Yeah, but it's also the one that runs the fact of the freaking remaster for the fact of the fucking most want. Yeah. I don't need an Xbox One or an Xbox S or whatever down the list to run remaster. A lot of the game library that I actually enjoy all sits on 360. Once they turned around and went to Xbox One and Xbox S and Xbox quote unquote X, that's when they started their whole online store drama bullshit that we own the license, but they can yank our game at any time, and I don't agree with that.
No.
If we've paid for a game, then we pay for a game. We're not just, you shouldn't just be paying for a license to play the game as long as it's on the store. That's hard earned and well spent money that just went poof with nothing to show for it anymore. As a gamer, it's one of my biggest rages. It's part of why I'm very actually adamantly against the fact of how Microsoft runs their freaking web stores anymore. But yeah, sunshine to the heart and cloud to the eyes. But yeah, I can't believe we're almost 3/4 of the way into the fact of the original schedule. Which reminds me, I still need to take those shorts down. I need to take down anything for any of the shorts that have the old the old schedules. Because I'm really tired of saying that I might have to start late. You know? I mean, missing the start of the stream by like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it sucks when I have to throw that apology there of, sorry, but I'm going to be late. Because I know that schedule sets a precedent. But it needs to be readjusted. That's for sure. An hour and a half in, 2 live streams, 2 actual decent looking videos, and a nice little backlog of live streams from the start of the channel to the mayhem to getting back on track and actually lightening up. How cold is it now? I'm gonna assume, what was our high supposed to be roughly? Today?
25.
Okay, so we're looking at like a high of 25. We're at like 3 in the afternoon already, 3:30 in the afternoon. So we're probably up at our high today of like 25-ish. That's not the real feel though. The real feel is totally different. Yeah, exactly. The entire fucking fender? Seriously? No. Not our house. It's called, we're sitting out in the boondocks out on a 10-acre property that this building was built like 20 odd years ago. So, yeah, not our place, but cheap enough to put up with. Because the place that we're moving to is only like $15-25 more per month, but at least there, stuff like that isn't a thing. So no, not our house, but it's where we're staying at. Trust and believe. People talk about, quote unquote, oh, poor people this, poor people that, poor people the other. Do y'all know that working a regular, standard, quote unquote, minimum wage job for a 9 to 5, that you're still at poverty limit, you're still under poverty. It's not even a joke. On average, it takes 2 minimum wage jobs, upwards of 3 minimum wage jobs, to be able to hold a place down. Hey, King. Renting. $300 a month for all the crap that we have to put up with. So yeah. And for what it's worth, I don't agree with squatters. If the building is actually truly abandoned, okay? If it's honestly an abandoned building and an abandoned house, that the owners aren't coming back from a vacation to find you have changed their locks down the fucking list, you know, that's one thing. There is such a thing as eminent domain and squatting rights for taking care of a property for 7 years. But that is for properties that are actually abandoned. That's not for the fuckers that go in when someone takes off for vacation and turn around and fucking move in and make up fake leases down the fucking list. That's not what that is for. Okay? So trust and believe. I have 2 different sides of that spectrum of where I stand. Are squatters' rights a reasonable thing when they are enacted properly for the proper places, under the proper circumstances and situations? Yes, they can be. But when you're doing it to fuck a family out of their home, no. That's not squatters' rights. That's breaking and entering. That's home invasion. That's where I stand.
Castle law.
Castle law. Bust my door down and take my home back. That's where I stand.
I know this is a lot to process, but I really need your help, and you're the only person I could turn to. I don't want anything to do with you or whatever you're trying to get us involved in.
And what are we involved in? An uncomfortable family squabble.
Well, it's about the building.
Yeah, exactly. It's...
That's correct.
Look,
Shock of Mom playing fast and loose.
when you grow up in California, okay, and you spend 20 years in a republic, you get really firm in your stance and your beliefs. That's not to say that I agree with everything that my home state is about. That's not to say that I agree with everything that my home state does. But growing up 20 years in California, it makes you a very robust person if you took your lessons for what they were, and they were the right lessons to begin with. See, I know what it means to be on the streets. I know what it means to not have a roof over my head. I know what it means to lose my job. I know what it means to live under a bridge. I know what it means to question where my next meal is coming from. It's shit that I would never wish on anyone. Ever. But just because I wouldn't wish it on someone doesn't mean that those realities don't exist. This right now, this is us getting out from that position by any means necessary, while still doing it the right way, above board, not turning around and going to the downright low-level bullshit that a lot of people would pull. Look, am I going to say that this is the best apartment? No. Am I going to say that this is the best place to be staying? No. Am I willing to state that it's keeping us off of the fucking streets? Keeping a roof over our head? Keeping us somewhere where we have 4 walls and a door and windows down the list, where that outside isn't right here to our skin? Any day of the week. Any day of the week. I would take an abandoned building with holes in the roof over sleeping in the streets in weather like that. I grew up not too far away from the fact of, fuck, LA, 4 districts, Skid Row. I grew up like 2.5 hours out away from Skid Row. Okay? So, yeah.
My brother thought it was a good idea, and he thought it was funny, so he turned it down and showed me it wasn't such a thing.
Yeah, I know. I remember that trip when he turned around and thought that, quote unquote, staying on the streets was such an easy task, and that, quote unquote, oh, it's all fun and it's all games, and there's no responsibilities and there's no hardships and there's no trouble, and it's just such a fucking vacation from having 4 walls and a roof and bills and all of this. Yeah, take the kid down Skid Row. Granted, make sure that nothing bad happens to them. Make sure that they're not harmed, that they're not attacked or assaulted. But if your kids really think that it is such a easy thing to be on the streets and that it is so easy to be homeless, take them down Skid Row, especially if you're out in that area. Teach them what it means.
Yeah, they don't.
Don't be afraid to visit California. That's the thing. Everyone talks about how they're afraid to visit California. One sec.
Why are they afraid to visit California?
Oh. Everyone talks about how they're afraid to visit California. California is not a bad state. We've got problems, but so does every other state in this nation. Yeah, we've got homicides out there. So does every other state in this country. Yeah, we've got the fact of drug mules, the drug peddlers, fucking the crack epidemic, the meth epidemic, down the list. So does every other state in this country, whether they publicize it or not. It's not about the entity itself, it's about where you're at.
And what you're doing.
Now, downtown LA at 3 a.m., maybe not the smartest thing to do. Downtown San Bernardino at 3 a.m., maybe not the smartest place to be if you don't know what you're doing and what you're dealing with.
Oh, well, so I guess growing up down there kind of...
Yeah, growing up down there, that negates a lot of the you don't want to be here at this time of
I do
night.
that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. We used to do it all the time just because it was fun. But, yeah. You know, you may not want to be in the downtown areas at like 3 in the morning by yourself.
No.
But for what it's worth, you know, there are some of us that 3 a.m. in the downtown area by ourselves, we're out there looking for the ones that want that target. Because we want to have fun. And maybe, just maybe, if we go have our fun, it'll keep them from hurting someone else that can't take care of themselves. But, you know, that's not to endorse vigilantism either.
No.
Though don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cases where I can't say I blame them if they go for them. I'm sure. I'm still full from ramen earlier. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All the places that most people that are struggling come from. Yeah, if you've ever... Yeah, exactly. You just don't go into the middle of Atlanta at 3 a.m. if you don't know how to survive. Otherwise, you're fine. Know what streets to avoid.
That's like going to St. Louis.
You know, if you're walking down and you're plumb full of cash, maybe don't walk down the fucking biggest hood in the fucking town. You're gonna get fucking wallet checked. Okay? But yeah, if you know what you're doing, you're perfectly fine. Trust and believe, I've heard of so many times where someone has been robbed and or someone has gotten beaten down because they walked down the wrong fucking place at the wrong time. And 9 out of 10, they were usually warned in advance not to do it. But they did it anyway. I can't feel sorry for them. I can say, hey, that's fucked up that happened, you know, maybe next time think a little bit more, but there's a lot of it that they bring it on themselves for not taking those warnings. If you know your human body language and you know what you're watching for, you know what to avoid, most times, perfectly fine. See, what gets me is a lot of people that have never experienced being homeless, they wouldn't know how to walk into an encampment. Like, straight up, they would not know how to walk through an encampment. They would not know how to travel through in the middle of the night and not get hurt. And I'm not talking just tripping over a log. I'm talking someone defending their property to a very, very extreme measure. Like, you might just get stabbed or shot type measures. A lot of people can't do it. But I'll tell you right now, I could walk through an encampment in the middle of the night, turn around and pop off that, hey, it's so-and-so, and I guarantee you they're going back into their tent. Or they're going back the opposite direction. And or they're coming up to turn around and shake my hand and say, hey, glad to see you again. It doesn't mean that I enjoy it, but I know how to work through it. Only 2 lights in your whole city? Let me guess. One as you enter and one as you exit. And or they're both there in the middle of downtown. Or downtown. Because downtown in small towns is really more like Main Street. First and foremost, if you don't know more than 2 people in that camp, don't do it. If you don't know at least 1 person in that camp, don't do it. There are other routes around the fact of the encampments. Most of the encampments, for those that are being smart, they're up in the wooded areas. Okay? They're up in the empty lots. The ones that have been taken over by trees. Most of them... Alright, sissy, good luck. Here's hoping you get good news. But yeah, if you don't know someone in an encampment, at least 1 person that stays in that encampment, and or 1 person that is friends with somebody in that encampment, don't walk through it. Because if they don't know you, and you don't know anyone there, and you're not connected to someone that somebody there knows, you're going to have problems. They're going to go try to run you out. See, the thing is, you've got to have those connections. If you don't have those connections, don't walk through them. That's how you stay safe. And hope like hell that the one that you're connected with, or that they know, isn't in a boat up shit creek without a paddle. Because if they're up shit creek, so are you. You might not want to walk through the encampment. If you're out on the streets and you're trying to find a spot to be able to camp out, do yourself a favor. Do not camp in the city. Stay outside of the city limits. Go out to the wooded areas a few miles outside of town. Make that trip into town. Make that trip back out to your camp. It saves a lot of hassle. Otherwise, you're going to get a whole bunch of citations. You're going to get a whole bunch of camping in Publix. You're going to get a whole bunch of fucking court orders that you need to come in. The possibility that you may be told that you're not going to get a citation and then find out that you have a bench warrant. Yeah, that one's happened to me. It's happened to me and Mama Canna. We got bench warrants for a fucking issue that they stated that we weren't getting cited for. Come to find out, when we applied to get into an apartment, we got told that we had warrants that needed to be taken care of. They didn't even bother telling us that we had a bench warrant. Thankfully, that's all been dealt with, though. I live in Indiana, yeah, full of cornfields. Yep. People think it's so nice and so safe out there. Yeah, children of the corn, people. Children of the corn. There's a reason I don't walk in cornfields at night. Jebediah is that reason.
According to this site, the vault is lead-lined and tight. That is not bad, right? For safety's sake, we shouldn't drive.
And yeah, that's the thing. The farther out from the main city centers you are, the less crime goes. But that's because the farther you are from the city center, the more likely you are that that person that you're trying to commit a crime against is going to blow your freaking head off. You know, the Second Amendment is a real thing out in the countryside, and it's adhered to. Castle law is no joke. Get on the property line and get told to leave, and then turn around and start running your mouth saying you ain't going nowhere. Yeah, there's going to be like 4 or 6 shots that go off as warnings, and you're going to hope that the next few don't go into you. We just had an incident over next door on the adjoining property, just past the landlord's son's area, on the other side of the fence, less than 600 yards away, of someone showing up in the middle of the night saying that they were looking for someone. 4 warning shots went into the ground. And they were still stupid enough to stand there and argue with them. Yeah, exactly. Knowing sheriffs but not in the county that you're in? Yeah, I know. Same here. We're sitting in Polk County right now, but I know sheriffs in Greene County that, truth be told, they're awesome. I know sheriffs out there in the Carthage area, that they're awesome officers. But the closer you get to being to a city cop, the more they become pricks.
I know today has been volatile, but it was never my intention to turn your company upside down.
Oh, and for those that were wondering, no, the neighbor did not face charges for discharge of a weapon. There was never a cop one that got called. Because that's not how we deal with things out here in the woods. Yeah, I know the feeling. That's how I felt about California for the longest time. Grew up in it. I loved it there when I was growing up. But once I left, once I tried to go back to California, it's not the same. If you don't want to become disillusioned towards your hometown, move close to it, but don't go a state away, or more than a state away. And always maintain the fact of visiting the area that you came from. Because the longer you're away from the area that you came from, the more it starts to really mess with you when you go back, that it turns into what it does. I mean, my area of San Bernardino that I was at, basically right there on the borderline of San Bernardino and Rialto originally back in California, right next to the industrial center. Okay? I went back there not even 5 years ago. Most of the houses that were out there, they've been either foreclosed on, down the list. There are houses that were beautiful homes that are now just sitting in shambles because people can't afford to take care of them anymore. I mean, for what an apartment would go out here on low income at like $300-$400 for an actual 1 to 2 bedroom apartment, out there in California for $400, you know what you get? A broom closet. I wish I was joking, but that is what I consider it. It's a broom closet. You're lucky to rent a room for $400.
Thank you. A fucking studio runs 12 to fucking $2,000.
Yeah, I know. And that's just for a studio. That's nothing more than a baseline modified at $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have a guarantee of a kitchen in your studio in California to turn around and get charged $1,200 a month. That's why most studio apartments are actually fucking 12 to 18 on average. And the closer to $2,000 you get, the closer chance that you actually have a fucking kitchen in it. Okay, the poll's gone 50-50. I can live with that. Because that tells me I break flat even. Though we are down to like the last 10 minutes. because I know that we ended our last stream and that we started this one, but we're definitely down to the last 10 minutes. I'm going to hold that 2-hour schedule today, even if we did have to break the stream into 2 portions. Oh, no shit, they're invisible. They know how to hide out there. They know exactly where to hide out there, that you're not going to see them. Have you ever seen the YouTube videos of the black police cars that are just blacked out completely and entirely, sitting in the shade as they crest over the hill with the sun glaring at their car? Alright, it tried to break again. Kitchen being open plan, 4-bedroom and 2-bath. Yeah. I bet it's expensive, but you know what? It sounds like a beautiful piece of property. I mean, just the open floor plan kitchen is enough to turn around and state that it's a beautiful home. I don't have to see it to know. I've done enough drafting and blueprinting during the time that I was in school that, yeah, no matter how that's laid out, depending on 1-story or 2-story, you know, it's still a beautiful home. And to be sitting on 4 acres of land, that's a good amount of space. Funny thing is, if the entirety of all grocery stores were to go out tomorrow, I know someone right now that's got plenty of space to turn around and grow their produce. And that's you. Better chance than us trying to grow it in the clay. Ah, 53. 7 left. 7 minutes till the end of stream. Because I'm still going to hold that 2-hour mark today. Well, as close to the 2-hour mark as I can get, considering I had to take time to reset it in the middle of it. It's 91 now. Fuck. Actually, that makes me wonder if when the stream broke, if we had messages that didn't go through. Yeah, I know, but that's the neighbor's property. We get shot for that. Trust and believe. I've thought about going out there with the proper light and seeing if I can find some blue caps, but I'm not that psycho. Yep. Truth is, anything over a studio or a 1-bedroom, consider lucky. Because a lot of people just cannot afford it anymore. I mean, it used to be affordable. It used to be. But it's not anymore.
House used to be like $40,000.
Yeah, I know. $40,000 for a brand new home back in our grandparents' day. Well, they still turn around and say that we're lazy and we just can't afford a fucking good place. Yeah, y'all. If y'all have baby boomers in your family that are just that much of an asshole, a prick, or otherwise, don't worry. They're not going to be around very long. Yeah, I know. Most are like the new generation. They couldn't tell you what a floppy disk is. Because they didn't have those things. But you know what? They were tough for it. And they were strong for it. Because I'll state it right now, I don't think there's very many people that could go back into like the 1700s, back into the days of the Wild West, and actually be able to survive. They'd lose their mind. They'd lose their shit. Alright, so for those those that are actually watching my videos, being as we're at like the last 4 minutes of the stream, what can we do to improve watch time? What can we modify and or do better to actually retain your watch time? Because like we said, for a 30 plus hour upload, if we're only going to get a few hours, like 2, 3, 4 hours of watch time off of it, that's a big loss. And, well, we're not sure that we can keep doing that constantly.
I'm not willing to. I'm not willing to.
I damn near lost my mind.
The repercussions of it. Because whether you realize or not, when shit like that happens,
oh, I know. I become a
you become a dick.
Yeah, I know. And it's not meant towards anyone personally. It's just YouTube has me at that point sometimes. And I try to remind everyone that it's not them. It's a fucking entity that I'm fighting against. Yeah. One of those. But yeah, what can we do to more enjoyable to watch? I'm gonna break 3 times in a row right now. Nothing personal. Yeah, I know, and that's the thing is I'm not sure how to incorporate that with the gaming videos. That's where I'm having that issue there. Alright, Michelle, you stay safe, you stay warm, you get some rest. Catch you tomorrow. Because I'm sure you'll probably be over on Teddy's. But yeah, specifically towards the gaming videos, is there anything that we can do to actually make them better or more entertaining? I mean, I know there's a lot of people that do like the fact of the cinematic style gameplay. But if that's not what the viewers want, we can modify that and we can work with it. But we gotta have that engagement and that community chat to be able to know. So, on that thought, guys, if you have any ideas that could possibly help, throw them in the comment section down below. Because we're fixing to kill the stream as it stands. We've hit our 2-hour mark for the day. We appreciate everybody that has stopped in, everybody that has joined in, everyone that has come in and turned around and laughed and bullshitted and spoken and down the list. If you've enjoyed your time here at the Candle Lounge, hit that like button, the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We go live 3 times a week, bare bones minimum. We're still working on getting videos out there. We're moving along, we're learning. Oh, fully intend to. Without a doubt. Because that's the first thing that we're searching for after this stream goes and kills out, is that phone. But, yeah, on that note, guys, have a good one. We'll see you next week. And or over on Teddy's channel, whichever comes first. Thanks, guys.